Pragmatism is learning by doing. Learning must be based on the child's experience, as well as occupations and activities. What is pragmatism in education? Pragmatism is a branch of philosophy that highlights the importance of ideas and actions being practical and useful in real-world situations. Education is intimately connected to human existence and should therefore support children in fulfilling their biological and social needs. Moreover, the purpose of pragmatist education is to empower children to cultivate their own set of values and principles. Therefore, through this perspective, pragmatism enables and encourages the education system to offer learners with practical experience. Key elements of pragmatism: experiential learning, problem solving and critical thinking, student centered approach, connections to the real world with practical applications, and reflection. Experiential learning. A principle applied in the education setting by pragmatism is experiential learning. This is a result of the pragmatist belief that learning is most effective when it is connected to real life experiences. By involving students in learning opportunities that are authentic experiences, such as field trips and practical projects, students are able to actively engage with the world around them, encouraging a deeper understanding of the student's environment. Problem solving and critical thinking. Pragmatism promotes the growth of problem solving and critical thinking abilities in students through inquiry-based learning. Rather than depending solely on memorization, pragmatic educators place a greater emphasis on fostering independent thinking and the practical application of knowledge to address real-world obstacles. This approach empowers students to become active participants in their learning journey, equipping them with the necessary skills to adapt to challenging circumstances. Student-centered approach. Another important aspect of pragmatism in education is having a student-centered approach. As with pragmatism, education should be student-centered, recognizing the unique needs, interests, and abilities of each learner. In pragmatic teaching, the child is the central figure. Educators who embrace a pragmatic approach recognize that students come with their unique experiences, perspectives, and pre-existing knowledge when entering the learning environment. By customizing instruction to individual students and encouraging active participation, teachers empower learners to take an ownership of their education. Connection to the real world. Pragmatism emphasizes the importance of connecting classroom learning to the real world. Educators help students understand the relevance and practical applications of what they learn by making connections between academic and authentic, meaningful contexts. This approach can enable students to recognize the significance and relevance of their education beyond the boundaries of the classroom. And finally, reflection. In this context, reflection serves as a valuable tool to comprehend how problems can acquire new perspectives and significance when considered in relation to the broader context in which they exist. Educators encourage students to reflect on their learning experiences, identify strengths and areas for improvement, and make adjustments accordingly.
Ma'am, what products or food do cows produce? Because I know on the carton of milk I see a cow, so I'm assuming that cows produce milk, but I'm sure that they produce other food. Can you explain to me what else they produce?
Cows produce milk, cheese, and also meat, which is where the name beef comes from.
Teacher Bose, I see that there's a female and male cow down there. Do they both produce milk?
Sadly, only female cows produce milk, and that is after they have become pregnant.
Students witness how crops grow in greenhouses, which leads to a practical understanding of the farm environment and crop cultivation. Students are engaged with their senses as they are seeing and smelling the different crops, touching the soil, and can taste the crops if they are harvested. Problem solving and critical thinking. Pragmatism can be understood as a practical approach to dealing with situations and problem solving skills instead of focusing on idealistic notions. As philosophers of education, we can adapt to pragmatism and provide solutions to real world problems. The responsibility for learning lies in the hands of the learner, which means they develop the necessary problem solving skills to solve real life problems. In the classroom, I can provide the class with different real world problems and ask them to provide solutions to solve the problem. In this case, I provided the grade 10 consumer studies class to find solutions to food insecurity. This leads to creativity, motivation to think for oneself, and the development of critical thinking and problem solving skills. This empowers a learner to feel valued as they show initiative to solve problems which society can benefit from, whether it is inside or outside of the school environment.